blockchain wallet, how to stay secure. ILCA teach me truth so pure. Free book drop, 10 lessons on go. 1 hour a night, time to grow what I know.
Show up, don't be afraid. One click, your moment made it. No fee, just hard and driving. ILCA, come feel alive.
5 days to fly, 5 nights, one dream. ILCA gon' show you how to build your team. Crypto on your mind, time to change your side. 5-day challenge, let your future rise.
5 nights to grow, 1 hour just shows. Free book, free game, watch your money flows. ILCA, we lift you highs. 5 days to fly, come and touch the sky. Brandon broke away from that cubicle chain. Now he's teaching how to hustle with a digital brain. How to buy it, how to keep it when the markets sway. Knowledge is the weapon and we use it every day. Hackers in the dark, but we shining in light. ILCA, protect your back, keep your future tight. Beginners or pros, we don't care where you start. 5 nights, come learn the art.
Sure, don't think twice. Freedom comes with sacrifice. Just log in, elevate. 5 nights can change your face. 5 days to fly, 5 nights, one dream. ILCA gon' show you how to build your team. It's crypto on your mind, time to change your side. 5-day challenge, let your future rise.
5 nights to grow, 1 hour just shows. Free book, free game, watch your money flow. See ILCA, we lift you high. See 5 days to fly, come and touch the sky.
No cause, no excuses, just education and elevation. 5 days to fly, 5 nights, one dream. ILCA gon' show you how to build your team. Crypto on your mind, time to change your side. It's 5-day challenge, let your future rise.
5 nights to grow, 1 hour just shows. Free book, free game, watch your money flow. See ILCA, we lift you high. See 5 days to fly, it's your time, don't lie. 5 days, ILCA, let's fly.
Yeah, we built it brick by brick. No fear, no quit. Turn the struggle to the shine, now we living it.
Clocked at 9 to 5, man, the dream felt cage, but the fire inside couldn't be contained. Brandon saw the future in that blockchain flame, said I'ma learn the game, put respect on my name. No silver spoon, just hustle and faith. Late night studying, plotting the escape. From the cubicle walls to the global stage, now Ivy League cryptos breaking every chain.
From nothing to something, we leveled the view. Each lesson we're learning, we're pushing it through. No limits, no ceiling, we're making it true. Together, forever, it's me and my crew.
From the ground up, we don't break, we rise. Turning pain into power, see the fire in our eyes. ILCA, yeah, we're leading the way. Crypto dreams turning real every single day. From the ground up, yeah, no fear in our climb. Every setback just to set up for the perfect time. ILCA,
people, it's not too late. Show them how to buy that first Satoshi state. While it trades all coins, we master the play. Educating every block like we paving the way. Unity, we strong, got the vision intact. This ain't hype, nah, we dealing in facts. From boot camps live to the talks each morning. Every lesson plant seeds where the wealth is born.
We rise together, no one left behind. Thinking hearts, thinking minds, thinking dreams to the grind. From the shadows to the spotlight, we define our fate. In the Ivy League, we build, we educate.
From the ground up, we don't break, we rise. Turning pain into power, see the fire in our eyes. ILCA, yeah, we leading the way. Crypto dreams turning real every single day. From the ground up, yeah, no fear in our climb. Every setback just a setup for the perfect time. ILCA, we gon' light up the sky, 'cause we're building a future money can't buy.
From 9 to 5 to blockchain skies. I believe Crypto Academy. Decentralized, digitized, realized.
They clocked in, but the soul said nah. Working from the box like a crypto god. Brandon Ivey with the master plan. Flip 9-5 in the digital land. 2017 hit, change his lane. Left the grind, now we teach the game. Built ILCA, let the fire spark. Lit up the hood with the blockchain art. Straight from the streets to the data stream. Taught the code, made them dream. Community strong, wallets clean. Financial freedom, now we lean. Boot camps with the realest glow. Every lesson be a missile blow. From broke to woke, from lost to lit. Ivy League crypto, yeah, that's it.
No clock, no chains, we're moving free. Brandon built the wave, now we ride the sea. ILCA, where the keys unlock. From 9 to 5 to moonwalking style. No clock, no change. No clock, no change. No clock, no change. No clock, no change. No change, no change, no change, no change. Plugged us in, now we know the deal. Turn confusion into dollar bills. LCA got us building skill. Crypto queen with that fire will. Every lesson turn the light. Shined on folks trying to earn they right. Unity strong, we ain't scared to fight. Decentralized dreams in digital flight.
It ain't just coin, it's elevation. From broke nights to real foundations. We break chains, spread education. Street to screen, no limitation. Crypto's voice from the soul of the block. Brandon Ivey made the system unlock. Rise together, we set the tone. From struggle to power, now we own.
No clock, no chains, we moving free. Brandon built the wave, now we ride the sea. ILCA, where the keys unlock. From 95 to moonwalking style. No clock, no chains, we moving free. Brandon built the wave, now we ride the sea. ILCA, where the keys unlock. From 95 to moonwalking style.
Build, break the box. Crypto from the concrete, wealth from the words. Rise, unlock, build, break the box. Crypto from the concrete, wealth from the words.
No clock, no chain. No clock, no chain. No clock, no chain. No clock, no chain.
Yeah, yeah, ILCA. Let's go.
Crypto dreams and unity schemes, from strategy to legacy, we build supreme.
Yeah, ILCA, we don't wait, we create. Hands up for the fam, celebrate, elevate, yeah. From the vision to the mission, we craft a plan, helping these amids rise, expand, take a stand. Crypto in our system, future in our hands. Brandon Ivey led the spark, now we light the land. Tailor coaching, game tight, success math tight. We turn big dreams into small daily fight. We define that path, equip that stride, and ride with our people till we all worldwide. Leonard got the focus, sees what's next. Melanie drops gems like a crypto text. Rita got the heart, leadership bold. Patty with the fire, turning silver to gold.
We the ILCA, we rise and shine. We the grind with a mastermind spine. Yeah, they want no hype, just facts. Turning every setback into power pack stacks. We the ILCA, we rise and shine. Crypto grind with a mastermind spine. Yeah, they want no hype, just facts. Turning every setback into power pack stacks.
Bridge the gap from thought to action. Entrepreneurship with real life traction. Every blueprint got a reason and route. We don't guess, we map it out. No doubt, funding links, peer connects. Resources rich, we gain respect. Like Kenny with the numbers, straight precision. Catherine strategizing with future vision. Joyce keep the circle warm and wise. Spreading light like sunrise in the skies. This ain't luck, it's a grind and a team. We dream together and build the dream. We the
LCA, we rise and shine. Crypto grind with a mastermind spine. Let the one know hype, just facts. Turning every setback into power pack stacks. We the LCA, we rise and shine. Crypto grind with a mastermind spine. Let the one know hype, just facts. Turning every setback into power pack stacks.
From workshops to wins, we walk it. From vision to victory, we talk it. Business built not on noise but precision. This is real growth, a whole new mission. Yeah, LCA in the building, never solo. We a vibe.
Crypto kings and queens,
Helping others rise. To Leonard, Melanie, Rita, Patty too.
Jimmy, Catherine, Joyce.
This one's for you.
We the ILCA, we rise and shine. Crypto grind with a mastermind spine. Know that one, no hype, just facts. Turning every setback into power pack stacks. We the ILCA, we rise and shine. Crypto grind with a mastermind spine. Know that one, no hype, just facts. Turning every setback into power pack stacks.
ILCA, let's go.
Five nights. ILCA. Show up. Or stay stuck.
Wanna level your life, but you're stuck at the gate. 5 nights, no cost, that's the ILCA plan. Crypto from beginner to a wealthy new man. What's a wallet, what's a chain, how you keep it secure? Bitcoin for beginners drop, game so pure. 10 free lessons, just click and arrive. Come alive in the night, let the knowledge survive.
One now, 5 nights, come reclaim your mind. Money to casa, queen connectress, leading you to shine.
Show up and shine, I'll taste the way.
5-day challenge gonna change your day.
One click, no fee, let your future align.
Show up outside, come grow your mind.
5 nights, unlock your high. Crypto skills for an endless time.
ILCA, step into the zone. ILCA's the family, you'll never stand alone. Yeah, show up and shine, I'll save the way. 5-day challenge, gonna change your day. One click, no fee, let your future align. Show up, boss up, come grow your mind. 35 nights, unlock your climb. Crypto skills for an endless time. ILCA, educate your divine. Show up and shine.
Juanita Casa, the Queen Connectress.
Juanita Casa, the Queen Connectress.
Gather your power.
ILCA got next. Show up and shine. ILCA 5-day challenge. Don't you delay. No free book, free game. Watch your life refine. Show up and shine. Show up and shine. 5 nights. Queen Connectress. ILCA. Shine on.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday night edition of the ILCA 5-Day Challenge. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnita Casa, and I will be your humble hostess for today. Now, there is something that I always like to say, and that is we totally understand there are so many different things you can be doing with your time. My goodness, the nighttime is the right time for family and for preparation of the next day. So the fact that you guys decided to come on out and hear what we have to say, just know that that makes us so very happy. So again, welcome. And wow, what a wonderful start we had last night. My goodness, we got to talk about the river of money. We talked about a little bit about the secret and frequency and belief in yourself, where it doesn't matter about politics. It doesn't matter whether right or wrong. All that matters is that you are on the right frequency and that you have belief in yourself. Then we talked about cryptocurrency. And tonight we're actually going to find out what is the blockchain. So babies, get ready. But before I get started, I have a couple of shout outs to give. Now, last night, one of our students, Miss Patty Geis, became ILCA certified. So I definitely want to give her another shout out. Patty, we are so very proud of you. And tonight, like maybe an hour ago, Miss Carla Rigo became ILCA certified. Congratulations, girlfriend. I'm so very, very proud of you. And not only is Carla Arrigo certified, but she is actually an ILCA partner. So Carla, congratulations, baby girl. We are so very proud of your progress. Keep it going. I love it. And you too, Miss Patty Geis. And you on YouTube, you're next. Okay, so just go to ilca.app. Again, that's ilca.app. You want to scroll down a little bit and then you want to become a member. Why? Because once you're a member, you can be certified as well. Just like all these wonderful people, you are very welcome, baby. So speaking of these wonderful people, hello, my VIPs. How are you? Thank you guys so very much for always showing up and showing out for us. It is always great to see you. Now, you should know the routine. As you come on in, type your name and where you're from in that chat box. That way I get a chance to tell everybody who is here on the cool kid side. And if you have the opportunity, please turn on your cameras. I see you, Clairvaux, and I like that background, baby. Hello. Go ahead and turn your cameras on like Mr. Clairvaux there. And those of you on YouTube, hi, sweethearts. You guys do the same. Start typing in your names and let me know where you guys are coming on in from. So let me go ahead and get started saying hello to everybody. Of course, Mr. Clairvaux is in the house representing Connecticut. Hello, sir. There is Kathy. Hi, baby. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you were able to make it. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, the Queen Carla Arrigo's in the house. Excuse me. The certified Queen Carla Arrigo is in the house representing St. Louis, Missouri. I see we also have the beautiful Catherine Clement. Hi, baby. Thank you for everything that you're doing for the community. Miss Catherine Clement is actually part of our ILCA roundtable, and we have some wonderful things coming out for you guys in the future, so be prepared. I see Nathan Hansberger's in the house. Hi, Nathan. How are you, baby? And of course, my man Stan T is here. Hello, sir. We had a wonderful call this afternoon. It is always good talking to you, baby. Yes, sir. I see we have the beautiful Miss Samantha. Hi, Samantha. How are you, sweetheart? Samantha is another one of our ILCA roundtable attendees. And let me tell you, she got some good things coming out for you guys. So keep an eye on her. Miss Rita B is in the house representing San Diego, California. Hi, Rita. How are you, sweetheart? She was actually the first female certified student of ILCA, so we always want to give her flowers. Of course, Miss Patty Geis is in the house. Hi, baby, representing San Diego, California. And of course, my man, Mr. Leonard Long, Papa Leonard is in the house. Hi, Leonard. How are you? He is representing La Quinta, California. We have Wild Bill, William Duzinski's here. Of course, the beautiful Amy Hazel. Hello, Queen. How are you is here. And so is Michael Aluko. And then we have Miss Janelle Apley coming on in from Colorado. Now I'm going to talk to my people on YouTube. Hi, babies. How are you? I see we have Darren Hill is in the house for another night. Hi, Darren. It's good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for coming back. The anointed one, that is Melvin. Hi, baby. Mwah, I see you. Thank you so very much for being here for us. I see Lynn Hamilton is here. Hi, Lynn. How are you? She's coming on in from NYC. It's always good to see you, Queen. I see Rick Sturgis. This man is all the way in Indonesia, okay? And he made sure he showed up. Rick, we appreciate your presence, sir. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I see we have Live Your Dream Life Now. Hi, baby. You were here last night, too. It's so good to see you. Okay, so it looks like the family is here. Let's go ahead and get this party started again. Thank each and every one of you for joining us on our ILCA 5-day challenge, our Tuesday edition. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marty DaCasa, and I am your humble hostess for today. Now, it is my honor to introduce you all to a man that for over 25 years dominated the direct sales industry. His cryptocurrency education is used by companies and universities worldwide. Now, for over 9 years, there's CJ. Hi, my friend. Now, for over 9 years, he dedicated his life to learning about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. But he didn't just stop there. He decided to go out and share his information with the masses. And this was done by putting on fun and exciting Bitcoin boot camps nationwide at no cost. He has built wonderful communities and thriving platforms like you see before you now. So without further ado, it is my honor to introduce you all to Mr. Brandon Ivey.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you for that introduction, Ms. Casa. And good evening, everybody. And got to give it back to Marnita. She is back at it again on a Tuesday night, welcoming all of you guys, ready to be for welcoming all of you for another excellent training that we're going to do tonight. And I hope you guys liked last night's training, where last night we talked about the river of money, and that's one of just so you guys know, Marnita's favorite topics, because she's always asking me about that for years now, when she started her journey and wanted to know about the secret and how to position yourself for wealth. And I shared with her back then, I said, it's not that people are doing anything wrong. They're doing what they were taught. And they're spinning your wheels in the sand like quicksand and not getting anywhere, because you're spending all of that energy in the wrong place. That you're searching for this money instead of searching for what this actually represents, resources and energy. And we touched on that last night with the Trump family utilizing this tactic for 5 generations. and it's not stopping now. And so if it's brand new for all of you, congratulations on spending time out of your schedule to hear that last night. And hopefully that has prepared your mind for what we're going to be talking about tonight, introducing you to the greatest transformative technology that the world has ever seen. You're like, well, wait a minute. We had the printing press, that changed things when all of a sudden books can be mass copied and the Bible can be written individually. You didn't have to rely on the priest to just translate what the Bible's talking about. We had the airplanes, we had space race, we have automobiles, we have cars, and many of you say, well, what about the internet? The internet changed the world, and it wasn't that long ago. Many of you remember what life was like before the internet. Let me ask you a question. Type me in the chat box if you were able to survive before the internet was here. If you still had a good time, you still had a good life, you still was able to socialize and but today take Wi-Fi away from 24 hours and the internet and see what happens to your life. It is indistinguishable to electricity, the sun rising and falling. You take away the internet, we're back in the dark ages. Well, what I'm telling you is that this new technology, blockchain, is bigger than the internet. Now, for the sake of time, because the theme this week has been about tokenized real estate, and I want to welcome all of our friends that are on YouTube listening right now. There is going to be a tokenized real estate presentation at the top of the hour. So I'm going to jump on into our lesson for tonight so that those individuals can make sure that they get to that on time. So let me go ahead and share screen. Let's get this ready to go from the beginning. And let's make sure I don't mess up like I did last night. Share, and we're going to go over screen 2, not my full screen. There we go. So if anything's off, you guys can send me a message if anything's off, but I think it's all good. All right. I tried to zoom in on a paperback book. All right, so what is the blockchain? Well, here's the scientific definition of this. What is a blockchain? A blockchain is a tamper-proof encrypted database secured by cryptography, which is the study of encryption, that acts as an accounting ledger, keeping track of digital assets. Instead of being maintained by a single server like traditional databases, blockchains are decentralized and maintained by a distributed network of computers around the world. This database tracks every Bitcoin in the network and each transaction since the very first Bitcoin. You could think of Bitcoin as an accounting system. Through the blockchain, it is a way of recording transactions and value digitally in an open and distributed self-clearing ledger. Beginners to cryptocurrency sometimes hear the word blockchain and think that the term blockchain is synonymous with Bitcoin. However, this would be like saying that smartphone technology and Apple have the same meaning. The relationship between Bitcoin and blockchain is like the relationship between Facebook and the internet. Bitcoin is based on blockchain technology and could not exist without blockchain technology. Blockchain technology preceded Bitcoin, and blockchain technology could exist without Bitcoin. Just like Facebook is on the internet, Bitcoin is on the blockchain. Facebook cannot work without the internet. Bitcoin couldn't work without its blockchain. I put it like this when I was attempting to explain this to my dad. I tell you guys that I always do my courses in a way that my mom can understand. Again, not that she's slow, it's just that she's technologically challenged. But my father's on a different beast. So I said, Dad, think of it like this. When he grew up, Compton, California, he didn't have a lot of money. His parents didn't. And so my grandfather was an engineer and he would make toys and video games. And he didn't just do it for his kids, the neighborhood kids too. He would build train tracks and race car sets and then connect them all together so there were triggers and everything so that they would go. And my dad kept that tradition all the way till now with my kids, where every Christmas my dad will get like a 17-foot tree in the house and have a railroad set going around the tree. And I said, Dad, blockchain technology is the railroad track. Okay. Bitcoin is the train. If you take away the railroad track, Bitcoin goes nowhere. And we're going to talk about this tomorrow when we talk about what is cryptocurrency, because the idea of digital money, cryptocurrency, is not new. It didn't just start in 2009. It's been around since the age of the computer, the idea of it. There was just no technology that made it actually feasible to work. If you take the train away from the track is still there. That's the blockchain. Let's get another visual image in our minds. So picture this. There's a digital block that's created on the internet. Inside that block is data. For cryptocurrencies, text data of a list of transactions is inside of each block. For NFTs, text data detailing ownership of digital assets is inside of each block. Every time a new block is created, it is linked or chained back to the previous block. So you have a series of blocks full of data, all chained together to each other. Another way to visualize it is like this. Picture each block as a page in a book. The data inside each block are the words on the page, and the chain is the book's spine that holds all of the pages together. There are various different cryptocurrencies, each with its own blockchain. For the blockchains of cryptocurrencies, the data inside each block is a detailed record of transactions involving that specific cryptocurrency. Basically, each block is one page in a digital ledger. So, how are new blocks added to the chain? In order to add a new block to a chain, a complex math equation must be solved. And this is important to understand because a lot of people, we are only taught fiat currency and it's based on trust, not gold, but trust. So anytime the government wants to make more money, they just print it. It's not like they find a new gold mine or a new silver source or another natural resource. They just print more. And every time they do so, it drops the value of the money. And if you've been paying attention to the news lately, you've got the President of the United States and you've got the Federal Reserve Chair, and they're at odds. And a lot of it is over politics, well, from one side. So one side wants to make decisions not based on can the economy support what needs to happen, but based on politics. So when you have a third party controlling something, you now have to take into consideration their motives. Can you trust them? Their religion, their politics. When it comes to crypto and the blockchain, none of that matters. It's based on math. 2 plus 2 will always be 4, even if Donald Trump says 2 plus 2 is 5. 2 plus 2 will always be 4. This is why Bill Gates said Bitcoin is freedom. But anyways, in order to add a new block to a chain, a complex math equation must be solved. For Bitcoin's blockchain, somebody needs to guess a number between 1 and 4 billion in order to add a new block to the blockchain. This requires a vast amount of computing power as well as some time, roughly 10 minutes per block on Bitcoin's blockchain. The individual or group who guesses the correct number creates the new block and is awarded 3.125 Bitcoins. This process is called mining. But really, it should be called something like creating a new block by guessing the correct number. So for those who think Bitcoin is made up out of thin air, no. Bitcoin is based on a process called proof of work, which means somebody has to take their time, they have to take their equipment, pay for equipment, programming, electricity, and then solve this math equation to create a block. And what is that block doing? Well, let's picture it like this. I have, where do I always put these? On my computers, I don't save anything to the hard drive. I save everything to external hard drives. So, like this, for example, this external hard drive. Now, when this hard drive fills up, you know what I do? Unplug it, plug in another one, and keep it moving. And then when this one fills up, unplug it, plug in a new one, and keep going. So the Bitcoin blockchain, there's a limit to how much information is contained in each block. And what information is that? Every single transaction for Bitcoin is being recorded in those blocks. And it takes about 10 minutes for it to fill up. And so once it's filled up, no more information can get in there. It closes and unlocks, and it's now permanent. It can't be changed. It can't be adapted. It can't be erased. And a new block comes. But how do you incentivize somebody who's going to spend their time and their money and effort and energy to build this block? If there's no company called Bitcoin, there's no CEO running things, how do you reward them? Well, the reward is right here, 3.125 Bitcoins. Now, in the early days, these miners were getting thousands of Bitcoin. But in those early days, Bitcoin was worth a lot less than it is right now. So this is how a new block is created by guessing the correct number. The fact that it is so difficult to add a new block makes it so that no one organization can ever add too many blocks in a row. It would be like the same person winning the lottery over and over again. The fact that blocks are so difficult to create is also the reason why they are so tamper-proof and immutable. So now we know what a blockchain is, how blocks are created, and what each block is filled with, a digital ledger of transactions. Now, some of you may be confused, like, what is a ledger? You might have heard that word, but you don't realize what it is, but you interact with it every single day. This piece of paper right here, this is a receipt from a store. This receipt has the date, the time, the place where I was shopping, what I bought, how I bought it. This receipt carries that information. This is a ledger. So you're already dealing with that every day. Every time you look at your bank statement, that bank statement is a ledger. So to understand the significance of blockchain technology, we must go back in time and look at ledgers and their function. A ledger is simply a documented record of transactions. A blockchain is a ledger. Therefore, a blockchain is a documented record of transactions. You guys see, understand that? Since the dawn of civilization, people have been trading things with one another. Humanity wouldn't exist if it weren't for the fact that humans trade with one another. Even before the invention of currency, tribes and early civilizations would often keep a record of who traded what with who, dating as far back as 5000 BC in Mesopotamia. People used clay tablets as primitive ledgers to record transactions of crops and animals. Now, think about it now. How do we know what these Mesopotamians and early humanity, what they were doing? Because they recorded it on in their day technology that cannot be tampered with or changed, and it's there to the end of days. Once it's like wet cement, once it's on there, it's on there. You can't go in there and erase the tablet. It's on there forever. Interestingly, now that we're using blockchain technology, it's like we're going back in time to the old days. Ledgers such as these would also be used to keep track of debts owed. So it was important that that they were kept in a safe place to avoid tampering or damage. Ledgers were kept safe inside of guarded temples and palaces, the seeds of the first banks. I mean, if you go back in time, Who are the wealthiest people in the land if you were not the royal family? Besides the landowners, it was the tax collectors, the debt collectors, the port harbor masters. So picture this. You need to sell some goods and services in a city, and you sail into that city and you go into the port. The first thing you meet is the port master, the harbor master, and they ask, "What are you declaring? What are you bringing in to sell?" And they take a record of it and how much you have. You do your selling, and you're ready to leave. And then when it comes time to leave, they look at what you have left over. So this is how much you sold. Okay, this is how much you owe in the taxes. However, there was another thing came that's called bribery. Because what if that harbor master didn't like you? What if you spoke the wrong language? What if you were the wrong race or ethnicity? What if you slept with the harbor master's wife in the inn the night before? So anything could go, and you don't have any recourse because the harbor master can just erase something on that list and put something else there. So that's where bribery came in. And bribery for hundreds of years was part of the cost of doing business. You had no recourse. The royal family had all the money. How many of you love Game of Thrones? A new section of that called, what is that called? Sir Duncan the Tall. Uh, well, it's a new Game of Thrones spinoff is out right now. So you guys have seen that. Who was the most powerful entity in the land? Was it the Lannisters? The Baratheons? Was it whoever's sitting on the throne in King's Landing? No, it was the Iron Bank. The Iron Bank had all the power, and Cersei Lannister learned that the hard way. Later, banks took over the role of calculating and maintaining ledgers. They kept track of transactions as well as debts owed and kept these records or ledgers safe. Except at this point, people were using currency and no longer bartering with crops, animals, and other goods. Let's talk about the modern banking system that kind of made things a little bit more fair. For centuries, people have trusted banks to keep and maintain ledgers, which is records. People agree with the information in a bank's ledgers and trust that that information is safe from tampering or damage. Because everyone agrees with the information in a bank's records, banks are often used as an intermediary for transactions between two parties. When you swipe your debit card at the grocery store and the point of sale terminal states that the transaction has gone through, the grocery store trusts that you've paid. The grocery store trusts your bank's records. Both parties involved in a transaction trust, and there's that word, that the records of the bank are accurate. If the bank says the transfer has successfully been completed, then the buyer and the seller can both trust and agree that the money has in fact gone through. When people lose trust, the entire fiat system collapses. And if you don't know what fiat means, that's just a Latin term for this: cash. Cash created by a government that's not backed by anything but government's trust. Who remembers 2008 financial collapse that brought the greatest recession since the Great Depression? And George Bush did a very famous speech. I mean, if you look back on history, that speech actually saved our economy because the markets reacted immediately after the speech was done. So, what was this speech that he was talking about? Well, he said to the American people, "I know things are bad. However, we're all in this together. Trust us. We're going to get out of it. Everything is run on trust, and we are going to lead the way." And they worked to bail out businesses and banks. banks that were too big to fail and businesses too big to fail. Last night, when I was talking about the Trump family and when Trump got into $3 billion of debt, why did the banks keep lending him money? Because in their eyes, he was too big to fail. They had to bet on him winning if they ever wanted to see any of their money back. Well, the US government operated the same way in 2008 and bailed out the businesses and the banks. And they said, don't worry, people, we got to bail them out so that you can keep your jobs. Because if those companies go belly up, you lose your job. How many of you got a bailout? How many of you are still waiting for a bailout? Trust. But when it comes to crypto on the blockchain, you don't have to trust anybody but the math. And we'll be talking more about that part tomorrow. Now, what are the pros and cons of using banks and their ledgers? Banks add a level of trust and security to transactions. This is why banks have been around for hundreds of years. The downside to this is that banks and their governments have the power to monitor and control people's money, as well as put their hands in people's pockets with fees, especially when transferring money international and or converting fiat currency. So, how many of you use direct deposit with your bank? Meaning if you're working a job and you get your check, instead of them giving you your check or mailing you your check, you get direct deposit into your bank account because it's convenient and it's almost instant when they do it. But banks are charging you for the privilege of taking your money. Then they charge you for the privilege of using your money to loan out to other people. They charge you when you want to withdraw your money. They charge you to hold the money. They charge you multiple times. And if you've been paying attention to the news, like my inner circle does, well, we found out just this morning. The biggest crisis the banks are facing today, do you guys know what that is? Is two words that they're afraid of. Stablecoin yield. That has the potential to completely uproot the entire banking system. Why? Because the banks want to encourage you to put money in their bank for like a savings account, right? Do you know by law, the bank only has to hold 10% of the money you put in the bank in their bank at all times? That means if every single person decided to go to the bank right now and pull their money out, there's not enough money to go around. And this is legal, legally done. What are they doing with 90% of your money as soon as you deposit? They're leveraging it. They're using it to give out loans to other people who might be to buy a house or businesses or investments. And the bank is making money off the interest of all of that. And then they pay you a paltry small sum at the end of the year. So why are they afraid of the two words yield and stable coin? Because a stable coin, and we're going to talk about what stable coins are on Thursday, a stable coin is just a digital token that is backed by the US dollar. It never goes up or down in value. And that's been here since the beginning. The difference now is that these stablecoin issuers are adding yield to it so that if you do buy a stablecoin and you just let them hold it, you're going to actually earn a yield on it depending on how long you're holding it. So you're making money on your own money just by having it on a stable coin, which means why would I put my money in a bank if I'm not going to spend it when I can just put it on a stable coin that's going to make me more money? And when people figure that out, they're going to pull their money out of the banks and put it in stable coins. Does that make sense? If it didn't make sense, let me know, and I'll make sure I go over it in even more detail on Thursday. So the issue is for centuries, we have been trusting banks to keep records or ledgers of who owns and owes what. But at the same time, we've been sacrificing some of our privacy, independence, and percentages of our wealth in fees. That's how these banks get so wealthy. But what if there was a better way? What if there was some form of modern technology that could help us get the best of both worlds? What if we could have the security or trust while at the same time also have a financial privacy or autonomy? We would need a secure ledger that everyone could trust and agree on, and that wasn't able to be controlled, interfered with, or manipulated by any person or institution. Enter blockchain technology. And what I say last night, May of 2017, I discovered that blockchain technology is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet today, whether you like it or not, whether you trust it or not, whether you believe it or not. Your opinion of it is irrelevant. You're going to be driving down the street and you're going to see Bitcoin ATMs all over the place. You're going to go in to get your cup of coffee and they're going to say, we now accept crypto. You're going to go to your job and your job's going to say you need to have a crypto wallet because we're now going to be paying you in crypto or a digital currency or anything that has to do with digital. And you're going to have to learn that. And then here's the kicker. The next job you apply to, when you have to fill out what your qualifications are, they're going to ask, what do you know about blockchain technology? Are you familiar with stablecoins? Do you know how to do this and that? No, I didn't go to school for that. School's not even teaching that. ILCA is. So you don't have a choice on this. It's gonna happen. Let me quiz you guys one more time. How much money in the world are we talking about that is real world assets to be tokenized? That's up for grabs. Type it in the chat box. Those of you on YouTube, I said it last night, so if you're back here, put it in there again. How much money are we talking about? Nope, Catherine. Nope. We're talking about real world assets. Marnita got it first. Yeah, now Catherine got it. $867 trillion. Now, let me ask a second question. How much of that is designated towards tokenized real estate? How much are we talking? There you go. $16 trillion. Blockchain technology. Your bank right now, whoever you bank with, they are already moving on this. Did you know Bank of America already had 70 blockchain patents in 2016? What? Yes. Did you know that JP Morgan, the CEO behind that, Jamie Dimon, who said that crypto is a scam, it's a Ponzi, I'm going to fire anybody who is buying it. I don't believe in it. The government should make it illegal. Do you know they have their own token? They're creating their own blockchain. They're creating their own CBDC and stablecoin. They already have a internal bank in the metaverse that they created a whole new company called Onyx. Do you guys know that? That Jamie Dimon himself, 24 hours after he blasted Bitcoin as a scam, went and bought the most Bitcoin off of a Swedish exchange because he crashed the market, bought the dip, and then what's the word? He was found charged for doing that, market manipulation, and found guilty and had to pay a fee. The fee was nothing compared to how much money he made. Always follow what they do, not what they say. You know what? This goes for everything. Any leader or so-called CEO of any type of project, follow what they do rather than what they say. Speaks volumes. Blockchains are distributed and publicly accessible. A blockchain is a digital ledger, but it is a ledger that everybody has access to. Yet, nobody can tamper with or control. Historically, ledgers and records have been centralized, locked up, and stored by one institution that has access and control. For cryptocurrencies, the entire ledger is out in the open and accessible to everybody. Again, Bitcoin is freedom. It doesn't matter who you are, who you're connected to, who your daddy is, what language you speak, what your education level is, if you have papers or not. This is accessible to everybody. So, how are blockchains different from the banks? Blockchains are anonymous. When you look at the Bitcoin blockchain, you will notice that you don't see the names, email addresses, or any information about the sender and receiver. All you see are transaction hashes and wallet addresses. It is almost impossible to determine someone's identity based on these strings of random letters and numbers. This is the paradox of Bitcoin. Everybody can see all of the transactions, but nobody can see who is doing the transactions. Blockchains are decentralized. For almost every major cryptocurrency, nobody owns or controls the ledger, the blockchain. The blockchain is available for anyone in the world to see, no matter where they are. Having a decentralized ledger plus the inherent security of a blockchain eliminates the need for an institution, bank, or government to be the middleman. Having a transparent, distributed ledger means that cryptocurrency is open to everybody on the planet. An entire 31% of adults in the world do not have access to a bank account. But if they have access to an internet connection, then they can access cryptocurrencies. Now, traditionally, if you don't have access to a bank account, you're locked out of wealth building. You can't get loans, you can't get credit, you can't build a credit history, can't buy anything or qualify for anything. Now you can. And what's the qualification that you need? Internet connection. That's it. Blockchain blocks require majority agreement to be valid. What makes a blockchain so secure is the fact that it is distributed. There are multiple live versions of each blockchain. If somebody is able to tamper with even one block on his live version of the blockchain, then everyone else will instantly see that it doesn't match up with the other live versions and it will be discarded. As long as more than 50% of the live blockchain versions or nodes agree on something, the versions are different. The versions that are different are identified as false and ignored. This all happens very quickly. Blockchain blocks are essentially immutable. Every 10 minutes, a new block is created on the Bitcoin blockchain. This block is filled with data of recent Bitcoin transactions. The data in the block shows a list of wallet addresses that have sent Bitcoin to other wallet addresses, as well as the amount of Bitcoin sent. Once the block has been mined and the data is written inside, the block is closed and becomes added to the end of the blockchain. At that point, it is impossible to edit, modify, or remove. It's like writing in wet cement, and once the cement hardens, the information written will be there forever. The block is basically immutable. Now, this is something a lot of people always ask. Is it possible to hack the blockchain? Or I love this one when someone says, well, Brandon, I mean, we just can't digitize money because what happens if the electricity goes down? I said, you didn't think that one through, did you? Just think about what you're saying. You're concerned that if your money is digital, what happens if the electricity goes down? Okay, where's your money at right now? The bank. Oh, it's a set of numbers and zeros on a screen. If the electricity goes down, are you going to be able to pull cash out of the bank, out of the ATM machine? Are you going to be able to access your bank account? No. I said, if the electricity goes down, the entire world stops, and we're now back in the dark ages. Is this not going to be just for the blockchain? All right. But is it possible to hack? Someone says, well, Brandon, I keep hearing these stories of people losing their crypto because they got hacked and they lost their life savings. And you do a whole series on crypto security and all that. So, I mean, at least the bank is safe. All right, let me break this down for you. If one individual or organization were able to gain control of 51% of the computing power of a blockchain, then they would be able to double spend their coins. That means they could spend their coins, then delete that transaction and spend the coins again. To amount a successful 51% attack on a large cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin would require an astronomical amount of computing power, costing billions or tens of billions of dollars just to hack one block. There are estimated to be over 1 million Bitcoin miners in the world today. Somebody would need to generate the computing power of over 1 million other miners to be able to temporarily tamper with the creation of the current Bitcoin block. A 51% attack on Bitcoin would be outlandishly expensive. The Bitcoin blockchain has never been hacked. But he said, but Reddit, I keep hearing all these hacks going on. It's not that the blockchain was hacked. It's that people that are not educated in the space have made human error giving access to their wallets to attackers. Centralized exchanges, their programs have been hacked by hackers. Not the centralized exchange is not the blockchain. Okay. So the blockchain has never been hacked. Because blockchain technology is by nature secure, anonymous, immutable, and decentralized, it is being eyed for other applications beyond crypto. Oh, wait, I skipped one. But it is still possible. Possible. How? Well, there's probably, in my opinion, only one person in the world who has the resources, the knowledge, and would be crazy enough to try to hack the blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain, just to say that he did it. Who would be willing to spend $10 billion to hack one blockchain that's only going to be worth less than $300,000 and then it's going to be corrected almost instantly just to say that they did it? You guys want to type some names, even on YouTube. Who do you guys think? Who would be crazy enough to attempt that? And other people say, well, what about quantum computing? Quantum computers. The same technology that is going to be running the quantum computers is also going to be the same technology securing the blockchain. It's not like the blockchain is going to be sitting at AOL dial-up internet speed. There you go. I was waiting for somebody on YouTube to say it too. You guys on my inner circle, you guys already know. Yeah, Elon Musk. He's the only one I think that'd be crazy enough to try to do that. CZ wouldn't be crazy enough to do it. He has the resources, but I think he's worth what now? 60, 70 billion. But will he be willing to spend 10 billion to try to prove that he could break something that he's making all his money on? That's like shooting yourself in the foot. No, shooting yourself in the heart. He wouldn't dare do that. Elon Musk, yeah. You know who else would have done that? He's no longer around. McAfee, John McAfee. Remember he was a crazy guy. Yeah, he would have done something like that. Now, other uses of blockchain technology. Because blockchain technology is by nature secure, anonymous, immutable, and decentralized, it is being eyed for other applications beyond only cryptocurrency. How about using a blockchain to cast votes in an election? One of the most polarizing topics in America is elections. Are our elections being rigged? Can we trust our elections? I have opinions on that, which I won't share, but it is a polarizing topic. There's a solution. Put voting on the blockchain. You do that, it can never be challenged. There is no manipulating of the votes. There is no double counting of the votes. There is no illegals voting. There is no dead people voting or dogs voting or people voting in multiple jurisdictions. It will be the fairest form of representation. But let me tell you, as I say that blockchain technology will disrupt every industry, voting will be the last because both parties in America like the system the way it is. All right. So no, voting will be one of the last things that will be put on the blockchain, but it will eventually. Using a blockchain to keep track. Oh, and when it does, ask this question. Is the blockchain that they're using centralized or decentralized? If the moment you figure out that it is centralized, it's still under their control. Okay. They just changed technology on how it's being done, but it can still be manipulated if it's centralized. And once you get more crypto education, you'll understand the difference between centralized and decentralized. What about using a blockchain to keep track of medical data? That is revolutionary. Using a blockchain to keep track of supply chain of food or other products. We found out this morning in Crypto Talk that there's listeria poisoning in some meat recall in 7 states. What if we're able to track through the blockchain where that meat was grown, when it was processed, its journey, where exactly it went, without having to trust they're putting labels on and making sure you got the right thing. Revolutionary. And each of these topics I have lessons on that go into far more detail. I'm just giving you the headline. What about using a blockchain to store authentic pieces of digital art, NFTs? And it's that word NFT, non-fungible tokens, is so much bigger than just digital art. This is where the word tokenization comes into play. Using a blockchain to store personal identification information. That is another huge revolutionary thing. I don't have time to go into it tonight. Using a blockchain to store important what? Deeds, such as for land or a home. Do you know when I put this lesson together? Do you know what year it was? It was before BlackRock publicly admitted they were getting into crypto. It was 2018. It is now 2026. Tokenized real estate. Yeah, we were ahead of the time. We knew where this was going. All right. Oh, yeah, I'm running out of time. As a disclaimer, the information is intended for educational and training purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. As with all financial decisions, you should contact your licensed financial advisor before investing in any financial instrument. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our day 2. What is the blockchain? I hope you learned something new. As always, that's the point. And if anybody has Q&A, we're going to do Q&A right now. But before we do that, unfortunately, those of you on YouTube, we invite you to be on the VIP side. I have to shut off the YouTube side to do Q&A because Q&A is for our VIP members only. But we invite you to become a VIP member. Ms. Costa, if you could type that in the chat box, how to join the VIP side. And if you are a part of eEstate, we have special coupon codes, half price off, if you decide to join us and further your crypto education. Also, tomorrow, we're doing double duty. You're getting 2 lessons tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, we're going to be covering what is pig butchering. Yeah, pig butchering scams. We're going to be covering that tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow night for the 5-day challenge, we're going to be covering what is cryptocurrency. What is cryptocurrency now that you understand what the blockchain is? So with that, again, I hope you learned something new. As always, that's the point. Thank you guys for joining us on the YouTube side. So I got to stop the live stream now. We want to see you back tomorrow night. 2 lessons tomorrow night. And now this is for the VIP for the Q&A. So YouTube, see you guys tomorrow.